Welcome to a brand new week of Student of the Gun Radio. How you doing? Doing well? Man, you're pretty chipper for a Monday morning, aren't you, Paul? Yes, I am, and thank you for asking. I am your host, Professor Paul Markel. I am inside of the Glass Case of Emotion Studios, which is located at Student of the Gun University. And here at Student of the Gun University, we don't have tenure. We have to perform each and every day. We have to meet the standard every day, every week, every month. I think that we're doing a pretty good job meeting the standard. And on the outside of the Glass Case of Emotion, on the other side of the glass case, is Jared. Jared is the host, the co-host, producer, and also the digital mastermind. And standing next to him, staring at him most intently right now, is Zach, the shipping ogre. And Zach, the shipping ogre, obviously has something he needs to tell Jared. But while he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and welcome you guys to another week. We have a full week of hilarity and information and education for you guys here this week. And thank you for your excellent decision-making skills and choosing Student of the Gun Radio. Now, let's normally on Monday, well, not normally, but what we do on Monday, I guess it's normally, isn't it? Jared's nodding at me, yes. We do the Warrior of the Week. And the Warrior of the Week is brought to you by SWAT Fuel. And if you're chosen as the Warrior of the Week, you get a free bottle of 9mm plus P, just because they are so righteous and they're such nice guys. Now, you might be sitting out there thinking, you're like, this is my first time joining you here at Student of the Gun Radio. Fear not, we will be gentle with you, I promise, until it's time not to be gentle. But don't worry, you'll know, and I'll know. But if you want to be the Warrior of the Week, it's real easy. All you have to do is call 682-207-7684, and you can go back and re-listen to that because this is a digital broadcast. But if you do that, before you dial the phone, let me give you a quick hint. If you hope to be the SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week and get your question read aloud or actually played aloud on air, what you need to do is you need to be cogent and coherent, and your question is one sentence with a possible follow-up sentence and a question mark at the end of it. A question is not a paragraph where you tell me about your favorite gun. Not that you would do that. Someone else might do that, but you wouldn't do that. So rehearse your question, say who you are, where you're from. You don't need to give us your phone number or anything like that on the answer. Just say, hi, I'm Phil, and I'm from Provo, Utah, and my question is, should I wear boxers or briefs in the event of an IED attack? And there you go. And if we think that your question is valuable enough for the entire audience to hear, then we will choose you, and you will be the Warrior of the Week. Now, another super easy way to be the Warrior of the Week is to what, Jared? What can they do with their super cool little mobile phone device?
Download the mobile app on studentofthegun.com. Go there. You can click on the mobile app tab on the top menu bar. It'll take you where you need to go. It'll tell you all about the mobile app, what you get when you download it, and it'll also give you links to download it. So it's pretty simple.
And in there's a Contact Us button right in the middle. It looks like a phone. You tap it, and you get two options. Call Student of the Gun University or call the Warrior of the Week line. How easy is that? We can't possibly make it any easier for you. So either go to your iTunes store and download the mobile app, or go to your Google Play store and download the mobile app.
Yes.
It costs you nothing, thanks to our friends at Century Arms, who are the sponsor. Century Arms is the sponsor of the mobile app and the radio show. All right, Jared, enough ado. Go ahead and cue up our Warrior of the Week music and our Warrior of the Week question.
Hello, Paul and Jared. This is Justin from Amarillo. My question is, do you have a mental checklist for knowing when you are not only justified, but when you need to use less than lethal force in defending yourself or someone else? Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.
All right, Jared, before I answer that question, go ahead and remind him what he needs to do to get his 9mm plus P.
Hey, Justin, I need you to go to, I was going to say go to studentofthegun.com, but you don't need to do that. You can just email alex@studentofthegun.com. That's ALEX@studentofthegun.com. Include your name, your mailing address, your phone number, and your email typed in the body of that, and she will get you your free bottle of 9mm plus P. Brought to you by SWAT Fuel.
Brought to you by SWAT Fuel. All right, special weapons and tactics for the body. Yes, that is a great question, and we addressed that in our class called Use of Force More Than a Gun. Is that what we call that class?
Not Beyond the Bed-Aid.
No.
Oh, man.
More Than a Gun.
Yeah, it's called Armed Living.
Armed Living.
Bam, that's it.
No, it's not it.
No?
It's not called whatever.
Oh, Force Options.
Force Options More Than a Gun. There you go. Good job, Jared. Force Options More Than a Gun. There's this little thing called proxemics. Proxemics is the study of human comfort zones and behavior in proximity to other human beings. A great example is when you're standing in an elevator, are you comfortable with someone standing side by side, shoulder to shoulder? And you're like, well, yeah, obviously. How about if the person turned to face you and was looking directly at you the same distance in an elevator? You're like, no, that would be weird. Exactly, it would be weird. The best way to know when things are wrong is to pay attention to when things are right. You need to know what's going on around you. Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to what is normal. And then when things are not normal, when things are abnormal, your radar should be pinging. You're like, hey, people don't normally behave in such a fashion. Or someone's walking towards me and I throw my left up and I'm like, hey, hold on a second. And that person ignores what we call the universal stop sign and keeps on going, keeps coming towards me. These are all little radar pings. They're like, whoa, chill, knucklehead. Essentially, there's what they call a fear component. You need to be able to stand in front of a judge and 12 jurors and explain to them why you were, quote, unquote, in fear of physical harm. Not necessarily death, but some type of physical harm. Why were you in fear? Why did you use this force against this person? Why did you punch them? Why did you pepper spray them? Why did you hit them with a stick or a taser or whatever? Why did you do that? Why did you shine a light in their face and then hit them with a flashlight? Why did you do that? Why were you in fear? Well, there's lots of ways. Most of us know that. Unfortunately, what we find, especially in our big cities today, is that human beings have been taught or trained to ignore their survival instinct. Every human being was born with a basic survival instinct. You know what you should be avoiding. We knew to do this back when, we were worried about tigers eating us in the jungle and what have you. But here we are today, and things that are wrong, things that are bad, things that are dangerous, we see those things and we ignore them. Because why? Well, because we've been taught, oh, you shouldn't notice, differences in people, and you shouldn't notice if people act differently than you or strangely or what you think is strange, because that's wrong. That's prejudicial. It's racism. It's sexism, ageism, xenophobiaism, whatever kind of ism. And so what we do is, even though that little voice in our head says, hey, that guy's kind of weird, or that person's acting hinky, or that person's acting, in a bad manner, we've been beaten over the head and told, oh, you better not notice that. Well, noticing that is what keeps you alive. And I could, when it comes to deadly force, obviously we have the ability, opportunity, and jeopardy. The truth is, you can apply the ability, opportunity, and jeopardy to non-lethal force or less than lethal force. Only instead of saying the ability, opportunity, and intent to do deadly force to me, it's the ability, opportunity, intent to harm me in some form or fashion. So don't let people in your comfort zone. Don't let people in your personal space unless you've invited them to come in there. If you hold your hand up and say, hey, hold on a second, and someone ignores that and keeps coming anyway, you may have about 1 second, maybe 1.5 seconds, till you get punched in the side of the head. Put your back to walls and keep your head up and out of your phone. Pay attention to what's going on around you in the world as much as you can. And if you can't do that, have people, like there's sometimes that you're out in the world and you have to take a phone call. Okay, great. I'm out often with Jared or Zachary, and I have to answer an email, or I have to take a phone call, or someone needs my attention. Great. I have people with me that are paying attention for me. So it works like that too. And that's why you hang with people. That's why I hang with armed people, so that I don't have to be the only armed person in the group. I hope that that answered your question, and congratulations on being the SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week. All right, moving on. We already mentioned Century Arms, the sweetest smelling arms maker in America. Buy your AK now. Buy your AK now. If you've been thinking, if you've been pondering, if you've been wondering, should I buy an AK? Should I buy an AK rifle? Oh, I don't know. Maybe that'll make me a communist. No, it doesn't make you a communist. In America, the citizen owning the AK does not make you a communist. It makes you a free person. So get on that. The TP9SA rebate thing is over. So if you missed it, too bad. But make sure you go to Century Arms website and follow them. They've got a lot of new things that they're continuously adding. And if you get a Century gun, guess what you can do? You can true strip it, strip all the grease and stuff off it, and then Duracoat that sucker. Duracoat. Because life's too short to have an ugly gun. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and save the other stuff until later. But we've got a story, and this is going to be our title story. This is a Go Team moment, and this Go Team moment includes a lot, very many lessons that you should be paying attention to. And it's more than just a gun. It's more than just about having a gun or owning a gun or being a gun owner. So pay attention. We are very proud to give this young lady, this young woman, a Go Team moment theme song. That's why I say amen, a good shot, woman. Thank you, Filter, for giving us that Go Team moment theme song. I said, hey, man, nice shot. The source for this story is bearingarms.com. New mother feeding baby pulls gun, fights off home invaders. You're like, wow, really? Yeah, this is pretty heinous. This may anger you. This is one of those stories that will anger you, but make you feel good at the same time. On the surface, 21-year-old Samantha Bunce doesn't appear much different than any other new mom. But when home invaders kicked in her door as she fed her 4-month-old son, she showed them the soul of a warrior as she took the fight to those who dared to put her family in danger. Bunce met the home invaders head-on in a gun battle, driving them from her home. Even though she took 2 hits in the exchange of gunfire, she managed to climb back up the stairs, check on her son before she dialed 911, and began taking care of her own wounds before the ambulance arrived. And the source that they're using, the source that Bearing Arms is using looks like it's WSOCTV.com. You're like, well, where did this happen? Where did this occur? WSOCTV.com is out of Charlotte, and I believe it's Charlotte, North Carolina. I could be wrong. It says, because I know there is more than one Charlotte in the world. Oh, yeah, Dateline, Charlotte, North Carolina. There we go. Very good. It says a community is rallying behind a young mother who was shot inside her home in East Charlotte. Samantha Bunce remains in Carolina's medical center with serious injuries caused by 2 gunshot wounds. Bunce was shot by intruders who kicked in the front door to her home. Those responsible remain at large. On Wednesday, family members shared pictures of the mother, including her 4-month-old son. Family members or community members are stepping up to support the family. I think it's a shock to I think it was a shock to the intruders just as much as it was to her, said Paul Bunce, her husband. Paul told Channel 9 his wife is a combat medic with the National Guard. He believes her training allowed her to stay mentally focused and calm during the fight for her life. They've got a long journey ahead, said one neighbor. Since the shooting, neighbors have embraced the family. Many have stopped by the house and offered their thoughts and prayers for the mother who risked all to protect her family. It says she has at least one more surgery to go through. Here's number one. Lessons learned here. Congratulations to this woman for being tough and for fighting back against these pieces of human filth who broke into her house. Number one, that should make you angry as hell. It makes me angry as hell. They need to find these people and squash them like the verminous bugs that they are. They need to find them, and they need to destroy them. That's kind of harsh. Don't you think they should get a fair trial? No, they need to find them, and they need to destroy them. I'm sick to death of enablers in this world. People, you can't just... who stands for the victims? Who stands for the victims of the crimes? Everyone stands. There's all kinds of lawyers and scumbags and community groups to stand behind these scumbags, these pieces of human filth who would break into your house in the middle of the day, who would invade your home and threaten your family, your wife, and your children. Who stands for your wife and children? Who stands for your family? Are you sick of this yet, America? Are you sick of this vermin? Oh, but maybe, Jared, maybe that the vermin involved, maybe it was their first time ever. No, it wasn't their first time ever. Guarantee when they catch these people, and hopefully they will catch them soon. Because what they're going to do is they're going to break into someone else's house, and that wife and that mother and those children might not be as lucky. Find them and destroy them. You know, we've talked about this at length on Student of the Gun Radio about what to do with your gun while you're at home. You know what's crazy ironic, Jared? Was it Friday or Thursday that we did the what to do with your gun while you're not? Oh, it was the homeroom segment.
Yeah.
On Thursday.
Thursday.
That's right. And this story is datelined November 5th. So this actually came out the day after. Well, the Thursday, that day.
It was the day of.
We'd recorded it the day before.
That's crazy that we ended up recording that segment and then
this would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you do with your gun while you're at home? Wear it. Attach it to your body. That way I have kids. Great, you have kids. Guess what? Put it in your body, attach it to your body in a holster, and you won't have to worry about your kids finding it because it will be secured to you. You will know exactly where it is. Yes, I understand that if you're toting around toddlers and babies and stuff, that wearing a gun can be cumbersome. You know what else is cumbersome? Being beaten and raped and killed while your children stand there and watch. That's a little bit cumbersome. Well, that was harsh. That was harsh. That's also reality. What would have happened to this poor young woman if she would have not been armed and not able to access a firearm? I don't even want to think about it. But she was able to access a firearm. She was able to drive these scumbags away from her home, even though she was shot in the process, which is heinous and horrible in and of itself. But what did she do? And this is the one of two big reasons that I wanted to share this. Not only was this a good example of what to do with your gun when you're at home, wear it. The other thing is good guys can and do bleed. Guns don't stop you from getting injured. She had a gun. She drove away the bad people with gunfire, but she still got hurt. She won the gunfight and ended up bleeding. And she had the mental forethought and the aptitude to start treating herself during that precious time that it takes for when you call, from between the time you call 911 and the time that the ambulance actually shows up. You say, well, the ambulance is on its way. It's on its way. It'll be here quick. It'll be here relatively quickly. So are you content to just lay on the carpet and let it soak up your blood for 10 minutes? Well, no. Yeah, well, no, exactly. Good guys can and do bleed. It happens. Having a gun is not going to prevent you or stop you from being injured. Well, yes, it is, Paul. You just said that people should carry guns. Yeah, I understand that. Is a gun going to stop you from being involved in a rollover car crash? An industrial accident? Chainsaw accident? Tree falling on you? What? Well, no, of course not. But I've got a phone. Oh, good. You got a phone. Congratulations. Hold your phone against that sucking chest wound. And that actually might work if you tape it down. Folks, if you're willing to learn how to use a firearm to defend yourself, you should learn how to save a life. There's no reason not to. The only reason that you don't do it is because you're lazy and because you've made excuses for yourself. You wrap yourself in excuses and you say, oh, it will never happen, or it won't happen to me, or I don't need that, or there's professionals out there. It's all horse crap. Every one of those excuses is horse crap. If you are listening to my voice today, you at least made one good decision. You're here and you're listening. Good job. Thumbs up, pat on the back. Now, where do we go from there? If you're carrying a gun as a part of your self-defense plan, if you keep a gun at home as part of a self-defense plan, but you convinced yourself somehow that traumatic medical training is not your responsibility, or there's too much. Do I want to talk, Jared, should we talk about liability? Am I going to talk about the liability thing?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh.
It's ridiculous what some of the excuses people come up with so they don't have to carry the gear themselves.
Yeah, so they don't have to do it. Oh no, you don't understand, Paul. You don't understand how much liability is involved in providing medical care to someone. Really? So what you're telling me is there's more liability in providing medical care to someone you love, a family member, yourself? Are you going to sue yourself? I hope that this young mother in question doesn't turn around and sue herself for giving herself medical care. You see how ridiculous that sounds? That's exactly how ridiculous you sound when you make excuses not to learn. You can carry a gun, and you're willing to carry a gun, and you tell me, you look me in the face that, I'm carrying a gun, it's my Second Amendment right, and nobody better mess my family, I'll shoot them down. So you're willing to kill a human, but you're not willing to put a bandage on a human because there's too much liability involved. Folks, there is no more liability, there is no greater liability on planet Earth than killing another human. Deliberately taking a human life is the highest form of liability you will ever incur. Everything else pales in comparison. And yes, even putting a tourniquet on someone has less liability than killing a human. Can we move on now? The next time next time someone says to me, you can't do that, there's too much liability involved, I'm going to lose my crap. Y'all going to make me lose my mind up in here. So, moral of the story, go team, bless this woman's heart. Jared, do me a favor, browse through really quickly. Aha, here it is. You don't even have to do it. There is a GoFundMe account that has been set up, and I just clicked on it, and they were hoping to get $15,000. They have gotten $21,000 so far. And what we're going to do, I'm going to copy it right now because I have the technology and the ability to do that. I'm going to copy that GoFundMe, and I'm going to put it into the show notes so that when these show notes go out, all right, I'm typing here. Are you helping me, or are you not helping me at all by you just staring at stuff?
The GoFundMe account for the chick, he's going to put that in the show notes. So if you're listening right now, go to the show notes for SOTG 274 and click on the GoFundMe account and give her $5, $1.
Yeah, it's something. Go to studentofthegunradio.com, click on episode 274, and all the notes from today's show will be in there. do it. This young woman deserves all our respect. She deserves a lot of credit for not only fighting to protect her own life, the life of her young son, but then also having the forethought to start patching up her own wounds. We think that's fantastic, and we wanted to acknowledge it today. All right, moving along. Before we get into the next one, what is the next story? The next story is about, oh my sweet heavenly Lord. You folks, yes you Facebookers, and especially you freaking grad program members, you send us some stuff that, it's good stuff. Sometimes I have to wrap my head in duct tape, but it's still good stuff. Before we're going to let you listen. We have exclusive audio where you can listen to an oxygen thief speak. That's right. There are many oxygen thieves out there, but you may not always hear them. We have one that decided to go in front of a video camera and provide absolute and irrefutable proof that she is indeed a waste of skin and an oxygen thief. But before we do that, let's go ahead and pay a couple bills. Thank you to Brownells at brownells.com for what? Well, for stocking Frog Lube. And I bet you, I don't know if it's there yet, but if it's not there yet, it will be there very soon. Frog Lube Extreme! And I'm going to Extreme lube our Century RPK. Did you notice that I brought it in the studio?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and break it down for my brother and lube it up with Extreme.
He was having some fun with some Duracoat.
Yeah, if you guys follow us on our social media, you'll see that I got a G-Lock that's it's going to be Zachary's G-Lock. I'm giving it to Zachary, and he wanted me to Duracoat it a special color for him. And if you want to see pictures of it all done, you need to follow our Instagram page or you need to follow our Facebook page. And hey, listen to me. What? You want me to listen to you, Paul? Yeah, you sitting out there. Do you twit or tweet or what twat? What do? You tweet? Are you on the Twitter thing? You are? Why aren't you following Student of the Gun, you freaking hippie? Get over there and go to Twitter and put in like the @ Student of the Gun and start freaking following us. Zachary, who is it? Zachary's a social media guy. He posts everything. But they did give me access. I don't get to post stuff on the Facebook or the Instagram but I do get to post things on Twitter. So I have that. So get over there and follow me. Us, whatever. So thank you to Brownells, to Frog Lube, to Velocity Triggers. And Jared, what is the Velocity Triggers' new phraseology? We used to always say design for precision, but now we say...
There's a new one. He's got to come in. I got to check my email real quick and get the exact verbiage, because I remember one of the words, but I don't remember the other one. So here we go. Superiority, quality, and value. Superior quality and value.
Did you say superiority?
Yeah.
Velocity Triggers, superior quality, and value.
Yes.
There you go. So... should we say
SQAV?
Velocity Triggers, superior quality and value.
Superior quality
and value.
And value.
Okay, great. Now we got it. Now everybody's got it. And last but certainly not least, hi. Hi to everyone at Crossbreed Holsters. Hi, Trent. Hi, Carol. Hi, Matt. Hi, Cubby. Hi, Roy. Everybody. All of you folks at Crossbreed Holsters. If you're looking for a way to carry your gun, you say, Paul, you said I should carry a gun every day. I did say that. Well, how and why should I carry? Not why should I carry it, but how should I carry it? Well, you can carry it in the Super Tuck Deluxe, also known as the...
Oh, we have to change it.
Oh, we have to change it?
Yeah, it's the Bruce Jenner commemorative. We have to call him by his real name because he's a dude. We got scolded in the email by one of our grad program members and said, stop conforming. So I think that we should go ahead and call it the Bruce
Jenner commemorative?
Yes.
Okay, Bruce. So Bruce is a Super Tuck. Okay, the Super Tuck Deluxe, also known as the Bruce Jenner commemorative holster. Now... you have the exclusive audio of an oxygen thief, a waste of skin.
I do,
providing irrefutable proof that they are indeed a waste of skin and an oxygen thief.
I do have that.
Okay,
and here we go.
Assault weapon. An assault weapon is a gun that is designed to be spray fired from the hip. They were created to be used in trench warfare when soldiers found that regular long rifles did not suit them in the trenches. And they were used for decades, primarily in war. About 30 years ago or so, the gun industry, in an effort to address a declining gun sales, modified a weapon for civilian use and started marketing assault weapons heavily towards civilians. And the danger with assault weapons is that bullets fired from an assault weapon can go through doors. They generally can pierce many of the bulletproof vests law enforcement wears, so they pose a particular threat to law enforcement. In fact, we know from some data that 1 in 5 law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty is generally killed with an assault weapon. And the United States had an assault weapon ban for 10 years. It expired in 2004. And the ban that was set up actually was riddled with loopholes, because this chart shows that guns that were originally banned here on the left column, and then the gun industry made some slight modifications to comply with law, and ended up creating copycat weapons that were not within the spirit of the law, but complied with the letter of the law. So even with the assault weapons ban, we had assault weapons that were legally sold. Now, some states like New York still have an assault weapons ban in place. In New York, however, we do have those loopholes so that these post-ban assault weapons can be legally purchased in New York State also. And the reason that they, again, pose a particular danger is the velocity and the way that they fire, the fact that they're designed to spray fire, and the fact that they are an attractive weapon to those bent on mass murder, such as the Columbine shooters and such as the Washington, D.C. snipers who used an assault weapon.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on you.
Wow. Apparently they cut it at the end there.
Oh, they don't want you to have mercy on your soul. Did how many of you are still with me? How many of you? Come on back down off the roof. It's okay. Come on back down. Come on back down off the roof. How many of you are picking up the pieces of your skull after your head exploded? This woman is from a Facebook group called, and thank you to whichever one of you turkeys out there in our listening audience shared that with us so that we could experience that as well. This woman is from a Facebook group called Protest Easy Guns. I had to read it like 3 times. Protest Easy Guns. So are those like guns that put out on the first date? Because quite frankly, I think those would probably be my favorite guns of all. Is your microphone on over there, freak?
Yeah, I'm just looking at this Facebook page. I'm definitely going to tag them in the...
Oh, sweet Buddha on a rubber raft. So let's go ahead and break it down for the lunatic mind, the insane ramblings of a lunatic mind. Number 1, what did we learn from this woman, from this oxygen thief? We learned that assault weapons were designed for trench warfare. Yeah. So all you World War I vets out there, you're like, Paul, what World War I? Well, if you were out there, all of you that are with me in spirit, that the assault weapon, and she had a piece of poster board with pictures of guns glued to her poster board, right? She had It hurts my head. If you guys really, really, really want to watch the video, the link is in the show notes.
Yeah, it'll be embedded in
The top guy. This is how insanely out of touch the left wing psychopaths are. The top gun is the Tech 9. That's right. The Tech 9. The Tech 9. How long has the Tech 9 been out of production? I gotta look. The Tech 9. Okay, if you type in the word Tech 9 into your search engine, it comes up with apparently there's a rapper that calls him. Of course there is a rapper that calls himself Tech 9. Why would there not be? Oh, no, it says here that no way. Dude, do you know who the designer of the Tech 9 was, Jared?
Who?
George Kellgren.
Really?
I kid you not.
Oh, that's funny.
It was in production from 1985 to 2001, according to Wikipedia. And you're like, yeah, I know. But it was the quickest thing we could come up with. So let's just say 14 years. At least 14 years the Tech 9's been out. And I'm surprised that it says 2001 because I haven't seen one like for sale in a gun store since the late 90s. But they're so scared of the Tech 9. Now, George Kellgren invented a lot of really cool things. He has invented a lot of cool things. And if you're like, Kellgren, I know that name. Yeah, you do know that name. There's a reason you know that name. But the Tech 9 was not really the height of reliability. Now, I know some guys will say, oh, dude, I had one and it ran like a top. And then other guys will say, yeah, I bought one in 1993, and it was really not so much. So, folks, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, but here's what we do know, that liberals are super scared of the Tech 9. Even though they haven't been in production for about 15 years now. But liberals are still really super scared of the Tech 9. So she's that they had post-ban legal versions of it. What else did she say? That, the reason that assault weapons are so dangerous is because of they can shoot through doors.
Because nothing else can.
Nothing else can. I mean, your regular, your regular bolt action hunting rifle, that would never be able to shoot through a door. Oh, and according to this brainless oxygen thief, another reason they're so is because according to studies, I'm not really sure where she got her hands on these, quote, studies? According to studies, 1 in 5 law enforcement officers killed is killed with an assault weapon. According to studies.
Yep.
Which studies. Yeah.
We don't have to have a good source. Because of studies.
Because of studies. And did you notice that when she was telling some of the bigger lies that she stuttered a little bit?
Yeah.
Because she's like, God, I know I'm lying, but I have to meet with the agenda. The agenda must be carried on. I have and their spray fire. And what did she say at one time? She goes, because of the velocity.
Oh yeah.
It's like she read she looked at
read the template
an issue of Guns and Sandwiches, and she's like, oh, there's a word that they use. Gun people like to use this word velocity. That must be dangerous. Because of the velocity and the spray fire capability. Do you guys have any guns that spray fire? I've got a lot of firearms. I own and possess a lot of firearms because I am a free man, but I don't think I have any of them that spray fire. Maybe I'm missing out. I don't know. Maybe we could talk to the guys over at Velocity Triggers and see if they could make one that spray fires, a trigger that spray fires. What other things it did? What other genius statements did she make there? Oh, another reason that assault weapons are so dangerous is because they're used by mass killers such as the DC snipers. Now, the DC snipers did use a Bushmaster rifle, but does this chick actually expect me to believe that if the Bushmaster rifle wouldn't have been available, that the what was that guy's last name that was driving around DC randomly killing one person at a time and then driving away? I'm pretty sure his last name was Mohammed. Mohammed for the I'll take Mohammed to block. Yeah, wasn't his last name Mohammed? I'm going to go ahead and duck that right now. DC Sniper.
I don't think they know how to snipe though. They're very good with knives.
No, John Allen Muhammad. That's right, the DC Sniper and his son. His name was John Allen Muhammad. Interesting. And did John Allen Muhammad, did he spray fire? Well, no. He meticulously shot people in the head, and he terrorized Americans for quite a while there. But there's no connection, Jared, whatsoever to the religion of peace and brotherhood. And I don't want you to make that connection. It's just a single isolated incident. So according to our oxygen thief, courtesy of Protest Easy Guns,
their Facebook page is like a train wreck. I keep scrolling and I can't stop myself.
Protest Easy Guns. Oh, it makes my head hurt. Oh, it makes my head hurt.
Did you know that guns kill more Americans than terrorists do?
Really?
Because a terrorist is a human being and a gun is an inanimate object. So how do you even compare those two things? You can't compare those two things. That's so dumb.
Well, if there weren't guns, there would be no murder. Like Faisal Muhammad, who we're going to... Oh, you said it again. There you go, saying the M word. Yeah, because what do we know? What have we been taught by our favorite sandwich maker? If we would just make guns harder to get, there would be no mass... Well, there might be attacks, and there might be murders, and there might be crime, but there wouldn't be mass murders. There wouldn't be, like, mass attacks if we would just figure out a way to keep guns out of bad people's hands, which is a topic that we're going to talk about in great detail tomorrow on Student of the Gun Radio. All right, clock on the wall says time for me to shut my mouth. Aw, darn you, clock on the wall. But fear not. Fear not, children. Fear not, cats and kittens and all of you across the Fruit Plain. We will be back tomorrow, and we're going to talk about a little Irish Catholic boy named Faisal Muhammad. What? He wasn't Irish Catholic? Maybe he was a Buddhist monk. Wasn't Buddhist monk? Maybe he was Southern Baptist. Wasn't Southern Baptist? I don't know. I think you're racist for pointing that out. And I think it's an isolated incident. But is it really an isolated incident? We'll find out tomorrow on Student of the Gun Radio.
If you guys are listening anywhere except for studentofthegunradio.com, go over to studentofthegunradio.com. Click on the latest episode. Leave us a comment. We like to hear from you guys.
Yes. Follow us. Don't forget to watch the TV show on Roku.
Yeah, you got
or
Roku,
Amazon Fire.
Amazon Fire.
And we've got other things that are coming down the pipe very, very soon.
I actually just got an update from the dudes, and I'll tell you after.
All right. New updates. All right, kids, remember, you're a beginner once, but you should indeed be a student for life.